When my 72-year-old neighbor Carol started following a specific eating plan, the transformation was remarkable. Within just 3 months, her chronic joint pain diminished, her energy levels soared, and even her skin developed a vibrant glow that made her look years younger. But before we jump back into the video, let us know where you're watching from. And if you're enjoying this story, don't forget to subscribe, because tomorrow I've got something really special for you. And now back to the video. It wasn't medication or expensive creams, she told me. It was simply removing certain foods from my diet and adding others. What Carol discovered is something researchers at longevity centers across the world are now confirming. After 65, your body processes certain foods differently, and these changes can either accelerate aging or help reverse its visible and invisible effects. Today, I'm sharing the 7 foods that research shows can dramatically speed up aging after 65. Foods many health-conscious seniors consume daily without realizing the damage, and the 5 foods with evidence-backed abilities to help reverse aging. Processes at the cellular level. The connection between diet and aging becomes increasingly critical after 65 due to specific physiological changes. As we age, our metabolism slows, our digestive enzymes decrease, inflammation pathways become more sensitive, and our cells' ability to manage oxidative stress diminishes. These natural changes mean that foods that had minimal impact in our 40s and 50s can significantly affect how we age in our 60s, 70s, and beyond. Recent advances in nutritional science have transformed our understanding of this relationship. Researchers at institutions like the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health and the National Institute on Aging have identified specific foods and compounds that either accelerate aging through increased inflammation, glycation, and oxidative damage, or slow it by supporting cellular repair processes, reducing inflammation, and enhancing mitochondrial function. What makes this topic particularly important is that many foods marketed as healthy or senior-friendly actually contain compounds that can be problematic after 65. Equally surprising, some foods that were once considered unhealthy are now being recognized for their age-reversing properties when consumed in the right context. The implications extend far beyond appearance. The foods we'll discuss affect cognitive function, joint health, energy levels, immune response, and even how our bodies recover from illness or injury. Research from the NU Age Project, New Dietary Strategies Addressing the Specific Needs of the Elderly Population for Healthy Aging in Europe, found that dietary changes alone can reduce aging biomarkers by up to 30% in just 1 year among adults over 65. Today, I'll explain exactly which foods to limit or eliminate from your diet after 65, why these foods become more problematic with age, and most importantly, which foods can help counteract aging processes at the cellular level. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear science-backed eating strategy tailored for your stage of life. Before we dive into these aging accelerators and rejuvenating foods, I want to highlight something important. The finalized reversing food I'll share, food number 5, is perhaps the most surprising. Once demonized in nutrition circles, research from the National Institutes of Health now shows it contains compounds that specifically target aging processes in older adults, with effects so significant that participants in one study reduced their biological age markers by an average of 3.1 years in just 4 months. Throughout this video, I'll also explain why standard nutritional advice often fails older adults and how the conventional healthy diet recommendations may actually accelerate aging after 65 due to unique changes in digestion and metabolism. Stay with me until the end, because I'll also share a simple 3-day meal plan that incorporates these principles and can help you start experiencing the benefits right away. The first aging accelerator is ultra-processed foods, products manufactured with extensive industrial processing and multiple ingredients, including preservatives, colorings, sweeteners, and flavor enhancers. Robert, a 68-year-old retired teacher, was puzzled by his accelerating health issues despite maintaining his weight. I was eating the same convenient foods I'd always eaten, frozen meals, breakfast cereals, protein bars. But suddenly, I developed inflammation markers, prediabetes, and looked years older than my actual age. What Robert didn't realize was that his body's ability to process these foods had fundamentally changed with age. Here's why this matters. Research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that after 65, ultra-processed foods create approximately 40% more advanced glycation end products, AGEs, in the body, compared to younger adults consuming identical foods. These AGEs are literally what they sound like, compounds that accelerate aging by causing protein fibers like collagen and elastin to become stiff and malformed. The aging impact is comprehensive. Beyond visible effects like skin sagging and wrinkles, these foods damage blood vessel flexibility, impair kidney filtration, and accelerate cognitive changes. A study from the Journals of Gerontology found that older adults with the highest ultra-processed food consumption had 28% faster cellular aging, as measured by telomere length, compared to those who ate the least. Ask yourself, how many of your weekly meals come from packages with ingredients you wouldn't have in your home kitchen? Do you rely on convenience foods that contain preservatives, artificial flavors, or color enhancers? Has convenience gradually displaced whole food preparation in your routine? The solution isn't necessarily eliminating all packaged foods, but dramatically reducing dependence on multi-ingredient processed products. Focus on single-ingredient foods or those with minimal processing. When choosing packaged foods, select options with ingredient lists you can recognize, ideally fewer than 5 to 7 components. And remember that, for older adults, these foods aren't just suboptimal nutritionally. They actively accelerate biological aging through multiple pathways. The second aging accelerator is added sugars, particularly fructose and high fructose corn syrup, which becomes significantly more damaging after 65. Martha, a 70-year-old who prided herself on staying active, was frustrated by increasing joint pain and rapidly developing wrinkles despite her health-conscious habits. "I avoided fatty foods and always chose fat-free options," she explained. "I didn't realize my yogurt, granola, and even my healthy breakfast cereal were loaded with added sugars that were destroying my collagen." Once she eliminated these hidden sugars, her joint mobility improved noticeably within weeks. Here's why this matters. After 65, your body's ability to metabolize sugars changes dramatically. Research from the Journal of the American College of Nutrition found that glucose metabolism efficiency decreases by approximately 7 to 10% per decade after 60. This means sugars remain in your bloodstream longer, creating more opportunities for glycation. Process where sugars bind to proteins like collagen and elastin, forming crosslinks that make tissues stiff and dysfunctional. The aging impact is profound. Beyond the visible skin effects, added sugars accelerate cartilage breakdown in joints, stiffen blood vessels, increasing cardiovascular risk, and impair the brain's ability to clear amyloid proteins associated with cognitive decline. A study from the University of California found that subjects over 65 with high sugar consumption showed brain aging patterns approximately 3.7 years ahead of those consuming minimal added sugars. Ask yourself, are you carefully checking for added sugars in foods marketed as healthy or fat-free? Do you consume sweetened beverages, including those with natural sweeteners? Are you aware of all the different names for sugar on ingredient lists, over 60 different terms including maltose, dextrose, and evaporated cane juice? The most effective approach is gradually reducing your sweetness threshold by systematically cutting added sugars from your diet. Focus particularly on eliminating liquid sugars from beverages, reading labels vigilantly for hidden sugars in health foods, and retraining your palate to appreciate the natural sweetness in whole foods like fruits, which contain fiber that moderates sugar absorption. The third aging accelerator is refined carbohydrates, white bread, pasta, white rice, and similar foods that have had their fiber and nutrients stripped away, leaving primarily starch that converts rapidly to glucose. James, a 73-year-old with increasing fatigue and weakness, couldn't understand why his energy crashed several times daily, despite eating what he considered a normal diet. "I'd have toast for breakfast, a sandwich at lunch, and pasta for dinner. Normal foods I'd eaten all my life, but suddenly they were wreaking havoc on my energy and accelerating my aging." The culprit was refined carbohydrates, which his aging metabolism could no longer process efficiently. Here's why this matters. After 65, insulin sensitivity naturally decreases, making it harder for your body to manage blood sugar fluctuations. Research from the journals of gerontology found that the post-meal blood sugar spike from refined carbohydrates increases by approximately 20–30% in older adults compared to middle-aged people consuming identical meals. These exaggerated blood sugar fluctuations trigger inflammation, cascades and oxidative stress that accelerate cellular aging. The aging impact extends throughout the body. These blood sugar swings contribute to brain fog and cognitive fluctuations, increase formation of AGEs, advanced glycation end products that damage tissues and promote visceral fat accumulation, particularly dangerous for metabolic health. A study from Clinical Nutrition found that older adults consuming the highest amounts of refined carbohydrates had significantly higher levels of inflammatory markers and oxidative stress, with biological aging markers averaging 2.8 years older than chronological age. Ask yourself, do refined grains like white bread, regular pasta, and white rice form the foundation of most of your meals? Have you noticed energy fluctuations after carbohydrate-heavy meals? Are your primary snack foods made from refined flours? The solution isn't eliminating all carbohydrates, but replacing refined versions with intact whole grains, legumes, and fiber-rich alternatives. These provide sustained energy without the dramatic blood sugar spikes. Start by substituting brown rice for white, whole grain bread for white bread, and incorporating alternative grains like quinoa, barley, and steel-cut oats that moderate blood sugar response. The fourth aging accelerator is industrial seed oils, including soybean, corn, cottonseed, sunflower, and safflower oils, which become particularly problematic after 65 due to age-related changes in inflammation response. Margaret, a 75-year-old with worsening arthritis pain, followed conventional health advice to avoid butter and coconut oil, instead using heart-healthy vegetable oils for cooking. No matter what anti-inflammatory supplements I took, my pain and stiffness kept increasing, she shared. When I replaced these oils with olive oil and avocado oil, the difference was remarkable. My joint pain decreased and even my skin improved within weeks. Here's why this matters. These highly processed oils contain disproportionately high levels of omega-6 fatty acids, which compete with omega-3s for absorption and promote inflammatory pathways. Research from the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry shows that after 65, the body's ability to regulate these inflammatory responses diminishes by approximately 30–40%, making these oils significantly more problematic than they were earlier in life. The aging impact is systemic. These oils contribute to chronic low-grade inflammation that accelerates joint deterioration, increases cardiovascular inflammation affecting arterial health, and even impairs skin barrier function, leading to drier, more wrinkle-prone skin. A study from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that higher consumption of these oils correlated with telomere shortening, a key marker of cellular aging in older adults. Ask yourself, what oils do you primarily use for cooking? Do you consume packaged foods containing soybean, corn, or other seed oils? Are you choosing products with vegetable oil without knowing exactly which oils are included? The most effective approach is replacing these industrial oils with more stable, less inflammatory alternatives like extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, and small amounts of butter or coconut oil. Check ingredient lists vigilantly, as these oils hide in most processed foods, including those marketed as healthy. When dining out, don't hesitate to ask what oils are used in food preparation, as restaurants frequently use these cheaper oils even in premium dishes. The fifth aging accelerator is excessive alcohol consumption, which has significantly different effects on the body after 65 than it did in earlier decades. William, a 69-year-old who maintained his long-standing habit of having 2 glasses of wine with dinner each night, noticed accelerating facial aging and unexplained sleep problems. I'd been drinking the same amount for decades without issues. Suddenly, the same amount of alcohol was visibly aging me and disrupting my sleep patterns. What William experienced reflects the dramatically changed way aging bodies process alcohol. Here's why this matters. After 65, several critical changes affect alcohol metabolism. Your body's water content naturally decreases with age, while fat percentage increases, resulting in higher blood alcohol concentrations from the same amount of alcohol. Additionally, liver enzyme production decreases by approximately 15 to 20% in older adults, impairing alcohol breakdown. Research from the National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism confirms that identical alcohol consumption produces approximately 30% higher blood alcohol levels in older adults compared to younger individuals. The aging impact is multifaceted. Beyond dehydrating effects that visibly age skin, alcohol after 65 more significantly disrupts deep sleep, the phase most crucial for cellular repair and regeneration. It also interferes with nutrient absorption, particularly B vitamins essential for cognitive function and energy. A study from alcoholism. Clinical and experimental research found that moderate alcohol consumption after 65 was associated with accelerated brain volume loss compared to the same consumption in middle age. Ask yourself, have you noticed changes in how alcohol affects you as you've aged? Do you experience more significant sleep disruptions or next-day fatigue than you once did from the same amount of alcohol? Has your recovery time after drinking increased? The most effective approach isn't necessarily complete abstinence, though that provides the greatest benefits, but significant moderation, generally limiting consumption to special occasions rather than daily drinking, and reducing serving sizes to account for your body's changed processing capacity. For many, alternating alcoholic beverages with water and implementing several alcohol-free days weekly can substantially reduce aging effects. The sixth aging accelerator is nitrate-preserved meats, including bacon, sausage, hot dogs, deli meats, and other processed meat products that use nitrates or nitrites as preservatives. Susan, a 77-year-old who regularly included deli meat in her lunch routine for convenience, couldn't understand her declining energy and increasing inflammatory markers, despite her otherwise careful diet. I thought I was making a healthy protein choice with turkey and ham sandwiches. I didn't realize these preserved meats were accelerating my cellular aging. After switching to freshly cooked poultry and fish, her inflammatory markers improved significantly within just 2 months. Here's why this matters. Nitrates and nitrites, while problematic at any age, become substantially more damaging after 65 due to age-related changes in how your body detoxifies compounds. Research published in Aging Cell demonstrates that the liver's phase 2 detoxification pathways, responsible for clearing these compounds, become approximately 30% less efficient with each decade after 60. This means nitrate compounds remain active in your system longer, creating more opportunities for damage. The aging impact is primarily through 3 mechanisms: formation of DNA-damaging compounds called nitrosamines, creation of advanced lipid peroxidation, end products that harm cell membranes, and disruption of mitochondrial function essential for energy production. A longitudinal study from the Journals of Gerontology found that adults over 65 with the highest processed meat consumption showed accelerated muscle mass loss and increased frailty markers compared to those consuming the least. Ask yourself, how frequently do you consume bacon, sausage, ham, or deli meats? Do you rely on these as protein sources due to their convenience? Have you noticed increased fatigue or inflammation that could be connected to regular consumption of these foods? The most effective approach is replacing preserved meats with freshly prepared proteins whenever possible. When convenience is necessary, look for nitrate-free alternatives, though these typically use celery powder, which naturally contains nitrates but usually in lower amounts. Better options include cooking extra chicken or fish to have on hand for quick meals, using beans or legumes as protein sources, or utilizing eggs as a convenient protein alternative without the problematic preservatives. The seventh aging accelerator is artificial sweeteners, including aspartame, sucralose, and saccharin, which research now shows can have unexpected negative effects on aging, particularly after 65. David, a 71-year-old diabetic, diligently avoided sugar by consuming diet sodas and sugar-free products containing artificial sweeteners. I thought I was making the healthiest choice given my condition, he explained. But my insulin resistance kept worsening, and I was aging faster than my peers despite careful blood sugar monitoring. When David eliminated artificial sweeteners, His metabolic markers improved significantly within 3 months. Here's why this matters. Recent research has revealed that artificial sweeteners can disrupt gut microbiome composition, which becomes increasingly critical for health after 65, as natural microbial diversity tends to decline with age. A study in the journal Nature found that artificial sweeteners altered gut bacteria in ways that actually induced glucose intolerance, the very condition many older adults use these products to manage. The aging impact extends beyond metabolic effects. These sweeteners have been shown to alter taste perception over time, often increasing cravings for sweet foods and potentially disrupting natural appetite regulation. Research from the University of Manitoba found associations between regular, artificial sweetener consumption and increased markers of systemic inflammation and oxidative stress, 2 primary drivers of accelerated aging. Participants over the age of 65 showed the most significant effects, with inflammatory markers approximately 31% higher in regular consumers compared to non-consumers. Ask yourself, do you regularly consume diet beverages or sugar-free products containing artificial sweeteners? Have you noticed increased sweet cravings despite using these non-caloric sweeteners? Are you choosing these products, believing they're the healthier option for aging well? The most effective approach is gradually reducing all sweeteners, both artificial and natural, to retrain your taste buds to appreciate the subtle sweetness in whole foods. When sweetness is desired, small amounts of natural options like honey or maple syrup may actually create fewer metabolic disruptions than artificial alternatives. Focus on addressing the underlying sweet preference rather than simply substituting artificial versions of sweet foods and beverages. The first rejuvenating food is fatty fish, including salmon, mackerel, sardines, and anchovies, which contains compounds that actively combat age-related inflammation. Helen, an active 78-year-old, incorporated fatty fish into her diet 3 times weekly after learning about its benefits. Within 2 months, the chronic inflammation in my joints had decreased dramatically. My skin developed a healthier glow, and my cognitive clarity improved noticeably. Helen was experiencing the powerful anti-aging effects of omega-3 fatty acids and associated compounds concentrated in fatty fish. Here's why this matters. The omega-3 fatty acids, EPA and DHA, found in fatty fish become increasingly essential after 65 years. The body's natural anti-inflammatory processes become less efficient. Research published in Brain Behavior and Immunity demonstrated that older adults who consumed fatty fish at least twice weekly had significantly lower levels of inflammatory markers, particularly interleukin-6 and C-reactive protein, which increase with age and drive many aspects of the aging process. The rejuvenating impact is multidimensional. Beyond reducing joint inflammation, these fatty acids help maintain membrane fluidity in brain cells, potentially slowing cognitive aging. They support heart rhythm stability, improve arterial flexibility, and even enhance skin barrier function and hydration. A long-term study from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that older adults with the highest blood levels of omega-3s had slower telomere shortening, effectively slower cellular aging, over a 5-year period. For optimal benefits, aim for 2 to 3 servings weekly of wild-caught fatty fish, focusing on smaller species like sardines and herring when possible, as they generally contain fewer environmental contaminants while providing excellent omega-3 concentrations. Second rejuvenating food category is berries, particularly blueberries, strawberries, blackberries, and raspberries, which contain powerful compounds that combat multiple aspects of brain aging. George, a 76-year-old concerned about his family history of cognitive decline, began consuming a cup of mixed berries daily. After about 3 months, I noticed something remarkable. My word recall improved, I could concentrate longer, and I felt mentally sharper than I had in years. What George experienced reflects the significant neuroprotective effects berries offer aging brains. Here's why this matters. Berries contain concentrated anthocyanins and other polyphenols that can cross the blood-brain barrier and accumulate in brain regions associated with learning and memory. Research from Tufts University Human Nutrition Research Center on Aging found that these compounds reduce neuroinflammation and oxidative stress, two key drivers of brain aging, and may even stimulate the growth of new neurons in certain brain regions, a process called neurogenesis that typically declines with age. The rejuvenating impact extends beyond cognition. The same compounds that protect brain cells also improve vascular function, enhancing blood flow to all tissues and supporting overall cellular health. Studies from the Nurses' Health Study found that women over 70 who consumed at least 1 cup of berries weekly showed cognitive aging patterns approximately 2.5 years younger than those who rarely consumed berries. For maximum benefits, incorporate a variety of fresh or frozen berries into your daily routine. Different colored berries contain different beneficial compounds, so diversity matters. Frozen berries maintain most of their beneficial properties and provide a convenient year-round option when fresh varieties aren't in season. The third rejuvenating food category is fermented foods, including yogurt with live cultures, kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, and kombucha, which support the aging gut microbiome and by extension overall cellular health. Patricia, an 82-year-old who had struggled with digestive issues and low energy for years, began incorporating various fermented foods daily. The transformation was nothing short of remarkable. My digestion improved within weeks, but what surprised me most was how much clearer my thinking became and how my mood lifted. It was as if a fog had been lifted. Patricia was experiencing the gut-brain connection that becomes increasingly crucial after 65. Here's why this matters. Research from the Stanford School of Medicine demonstrates that gut microbiome diversity naturally declines with age, contributing to increased inflammation, reduced nutrient absorption, and even cognitive changes. Fermented foods introduce beneficial bacterial strains that can help restore this diversity and enhance gut barrier function, which often becomes more permeable with age, a condition sometimes called leaky gut that allows inflammatory compounds to enter circulation. The rejuvenating impact works through multiple pathways. Beyond improving digestion and nutrient absorption, a healthier gut microbiome reduces systemic inflammation, supports immune function, and even produces compounds that benefit brain health. A study in the journal Microbiome found that older adults who regularly consumed fermented foods showed lower markers of systemic inflammation and oxidative stress compared to non-consumers. For optimal benefits, incorporate a variety of fermented foods daily, focusing on those with minimal added sugars. Different fermented foods contain different beneficial strains, so diversity in your selections maximizes microbiome benefits. The fourth rejuvenating food category is dark leafy greens, including spinach, kale, arugula, and Swiss chard, which contain compounds that help protect against multiple aspects of cellular aging. Charles, a 74-year-old who began consuming 2 cups of dark leafy greens daily, noticed remarkable changes within several months. My energy improved first, then I realized my vision had stabilized rather than continuing to decline. Even my skin tone became more even and vibrant. Charles was experiencing the wide-ranging benefits these nutrient-dense foods provide through multiple rejuvenating pathways. Here's why this matters. Dark leafy greens contain an exceptional concentration of compounds that become increasingly critical after 65, including lutein and zeaxanthin, that protect aging eyes, nitrates that improve vascular function, and a range of antioxidants that combat the increased oxidative stress that occurs with aging. Research from Tufts University found that these foods also provide unique protection for aging mitochondria, your cell's energy-producing components that naturally become less efficient with age. The rejuvenating impact is comprehensive. Beyond protecting vision through macular pigment support, these greens enhance blood vessel flexibility, reduce blood pressure, support efficient energy production, and provide compounds that help cells manage the increased oxidative challenges of aging. The Rush University Memory and Aging Project found that participants who consumed the most leafy greens showed cognitive function approximately 11 years younger than those who consumed the least. For maximum benefits, aim for at least 2 cups daily, enjoying them both raw in salads and lightly cooked, as different preparation methods make different nutrients more bioavailable. Starting your day with greens incorporated into smoothies or eggs provides an excellent foundation for cellular protection. The fifth rejuvenating food, and perhaps the most surprising, is pastured eggs, which provide unique compounds that, specifically, support aging brain cells and overall cellular health. Elizabeth, an 80-year-old who had avoided eggs for decades due to cholesterol concerns, reintroduced pastured eggs into her diet after learning about recent research findings. Within just 2 months of eating 2 eggs daily, my mental clarity improved dramatically. My energy increased and even my muscle strength seemed better. I wish I hadn't avoided them for all those years based on outdated information. Elizabeth was experiencing the significant rejuvenating effects of compounds uniquely concentrated in egg yolks. Here's why this matters. Eggs are nature's richest source of choline, a precursor to acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter essential for memory and learning that tends to decline with age. Research from the University of Eastern Finland found that participants with the highest egg consumption had better performance on multiple cognitive tests and showed slower rates of age-related cognitive decline. Beyond choline, egg yolks contain some of the highest food concentrations of lutein and zeaxanthin, which protect brain cells from oxidative damage. They also provide high-quality protein that becomes increasingly important after 65 to combat age-related muscle loss, and contain phospholipids that support cell membrane integrity throughout the body. The rejuvenating impact extends to multiple systems. Research from the National Institutes of Health found that older adults who included whole eggs in their diet showed improved insulin sensitivity, better muscle protein synthesis, and higher plasma antioxidant levels compared to those who consumed only egg whites or avoided eggs completely. For optimal benefits, choose eggs from pastured hens when possible, as they contain higher concentrations of beneficial omega-3 fatty acids and antioxidants compared to conventional eggs. As we've explored these 7 aging accelerators, ultra-processed foods, added sugars, refined carbohydrates, industrial seed oils, excessive alcohol, nitrate-preserved meats and artificial sweeteners, alongside 5 rejuvenating foods, fatty fish, berries, fermented foods, dark leafy greens, and pastured eggs, a clear pattern emerges. The foods that accelerate aging after 65 share common qualities. They promote inflammation, increase oxidative stress, disrupt cellular communication, or interfere with your body's natural repair processes. Conversely, the foods that help reverse aging support mitochondrial function, reduce inflammation, enhance cellular communication, and provide the building blocks your body needs for repair and regeneration. What makes this knowledge so powerful is that these dietary choices have cumulative effects. Small, consistent changes can lead to significant improvements in how you age, both in how you look and how you feel. Research from the NU Age Project demonstrated that participants who shifted their diets toward anti-inflammatory patterns showed measurable improvements in biological aging markers within just 12 months. While genetics certainly plays a role in how we age, nutrition represents one of the most powerful tools within our control. The food choices you make daily either accelerate cellular aging or support your body's natural rejuvenation processes. This becomes increasingly impactful after 65, when your body's resilience is naturally lower and the effects of dietary choices, both positive and negative, become more pronounced. By being strategic about both what you eliminate and what you emphasize in your diet, you can significantly influence how you experience the later decades of life. If you found this information valuable, please take a moment to share this video with someone who might benefit. These dietary insights could transform someone's health trajectory during their most vulnerable years. In the comments below, I'd love to hear about your experiences with eliminating aging accelerators or incorporating more rejuvenating foods. Your personal observations might help others who are just beginning this journey. Don't forget to download our free Rejuvenation Eating Plan using the link in the description. This 3-day meal plan incorporates all the principles we've discussed today with simple, delicious recipes specifically designed for bodies over 65. Subscribe and hit the notification bell to be informed about our upcoming video on movement patterns that reverse aging. After 65, the perfect companion to the nutritional strategies we've discussed today. Thank you for investing this time in your health and longevity. Remember, it's never too late to positively influence how you age through the power of strategic nutrition.